I don't know how long this video journal is going to be. It is a late night. Man, it is like 3 a.m. And I just got back from hanging out with some friends. Those friends Those friends being my violin instructor, Rise, their other roommate Athena, their friend Noah, which I had met over a video call, but never really knew in person, so it was cool seeing him. And then a dude named John that I haven't talked about, but we're good friends. But we're good friends, and let's see. John is cool. But, we had talked about some things today that I kind of want to talk about now. So, one of the things we talked about was, what is your favorite place? What is your favorite place for shit? I was thinking of just panic rolling after that, but I think I should. Let's see. We had talked about what our favorite places on Earth would be, and the most notable thing about that conversation. Keep in mind, I'm in their living room, and it's a dorm-ish, so it's like kind of cozy in there, college-esque, and college-esque, right? And fuck off. College-esque, and we sort of and I already really have a place in mind, honestly. Like, when I ask questions, I typically already have an answer to them. I like to think before I talk. Ponder things. That's just how I am as a person. And if that's cringe, so be it. Like, just to say it out loud, just saying it out loud is like, oh, look at me, I'm an intellectual. But, like, honestly, like, dude. I mean, think before you speak, honestly. Shit. Why? These guys? Sun Spear? Oh, shit. Oh. Throw out some more LTs. Surprised. Jeez. Do I need to play with the eye rune or something? God. Whatever. But, we were sort of talking about our favorite place, and of course, I already sort of have one in mind. That being... Man, I was thinking either... I really do like Buffalo Park. Buffalo Park is very pretty. very scenic. But, also you have to think towards the future maybe, like, because I have that Durango, Colorado job coming up in the middle of the forest. I feel like that might be my new favorite place when I start working there. But anyways, I was asking them, and something I do a lot. I like to ask these sorts of questions because it's these sorts of questions that get people to like talk about themselves, which I really like. And like just the way that they were talking, like seeing them passionately talk about some places. Like John was talking about this one beach town that he really loved, and Theodora, aka my violin instructor. I don't know how many times I want to do the fucking aka my violin instructor thing. It just feels right. Nah, Theodora's fine. Theodora was saying, you also have to think about like the kinds of memories you make there, because she said that she went to this one place and I'm forgetting the names. Like the names were like these places I've never heard of, like over in Europe. And I don't even know many places in the U.S. That's how like stupid I am when it comes to that stuff. But but she was saying like in one place, like she studies abroad, and she finds a variety of places that she likes. And in one place, for example, she really loves the nightlife because she was with this one group that just so happens to be there at the same time as her, and so it really made the experience. But at the same time, there was another place, someplace in Switzerland that she was talking about, this other place. And she said that it was very, okay, am I going in circles? I feel like I'm going in circles. The lever has to be somewhere. Wait, did I already flip it? Oh, Jesus. I'm not using my brain. Dude, alright, it's like 3:30 a.m. Let's see if I flipped the lever before I keep talking. I did. So, she was talking about this place in Switzerland, and she said although it's very, very expensive to live in Switzerland, while she was there for study abroad, it was a very nice place apparently. And she just remembers it was like drizzling outside, and no one was in town, like no one was out that day, and so she found the experience very special because she was walking around this city, like it was like sort of like the evening, and she got to watch the sunset. I think it was sunset that she talked about. She just got to watch the sunset while it was drizzling out in that very beautiful... Switzerland is already a very beautiful place. I thought of it. But, yeah. And so, she had a hard time deciding. It was a deep question. That's good. Oh. It was a very deep question, and, it really got me thinking. And of course I had asked Noah what his favorite place would be, and he said Flagstaff, the place we were at, and, I don't really care that I'm saying where I live right now. Um, I feel like I've alluded to it quite a bit already. It's the worst case scenario. But, Noah had said he likes Flagstaff, and I asked them all why they chose their places. And the conversation ended up lasting like well over an hour, like almost 2 hours. And we were all queuing Spotify songs in the meantime, so the vibes were just on. And they all have unique, different playlists. So there's that to chew on. It was very cool. I always love hanging out with them, despite everything I have said about Theodora and By the way, I'm gonna touch on that because I have some choice words but yeah. It was very interesting, and I found myself I was barely talking. I contributed probably 2 sentences during most of the day. But I always felt like they were talking to me. And I got them talking to me by asking something about themselves and something that could tell me about themselves, I'm a psychology major, and I want to be a therapist when I grow up. That's the plan for now. And of course, I even have more choice words, with doubts, right? But anyways, I'll continue. But I found myself being drawn to the way they were talking, like almost with passion, which I loved watching. Seeing the way their jaw and mouth would move while they gave me their answer, and they would just yap and yap and yap. And it was very entertaining for me. And it was also I almost found myself in a trance, especially I hate to say this because it sounds like whatever, I'll just say it. But I found myself especially enthralled with the way Theodora was talking. The way Theodora talks is I can't get over it, man. It's she sounds calm, but it sounds like she's selecting her words. And it was very fun. She was the most entertaining for me to listen to. When she was giving me her answer of her favorite place, when she was describing the drizzling rain and the sunset and how empty the town was. It was very nice. And John was great too. John was telling me his answer. He was the first person I had asked, so of course. Wow, is there nothing in this room? Is there not a secret? Maybe there is. I just created a random chalice. That's crazy. But man, I found myself in this sort of I don't want to say trance because it makes it sound like I'm high or drunk or some shit. And I don't do those things. But, almost man, it's hard to explain. I was just watching her jaw move as she answered, her just whole body, her body language. I don't know what was with me that night. I don't think I was getting necessarily tired, but I felt really mellow in that moment. very like gung-ho in that moment. And then of course there were other things that we talked about. I was more active in some of these conversations, like when I was talking about my future job in Durango. And how I didn't want to cut my hair, and how, you know, I would prefer cutting my hair short and meeting new people rather than talking to my old friends. And Theodora and John found that fascinating. They found it interesting that I would think that way. And they had even, like, part of me felt like I was pushing, and I felt horrible about that, because I was, like, pretty pessimistic. You know, I was saying, like, what was that? I feel like I'm being pretty quiet. So not like me talking. I'm like borderline almost whispering. But shit, what was I talking about? That actually kind of scared me. I won't lie. But I don't know if my audio will pick that up. Plug in my controller real quick. But man, the way Theodora was like just carrying herself tonight, like I don't know, and like of course listening to everyone else was interesting. But I just found myself like it was the first time in a long time that I had really talked to Theodora. Made me realize like how much I sort of like, you know, kind of fell for her before I found out she had a girlfriend and all that, and everything happened and everything got weird with me, and you know, if you've been watching my video journals, you know how conflicted I've been over that. But you know, I've had a lot of revelations tonight. I'll talk about them all, but freaking yeah, Theodora. You know, tonight, like, it was very fun talking to Theodora tonight, and, like, oh my god, like, seeing her, like, smile and talk to me, and, like, everything just, like, I kind of, whatever, like, I kind of hate that, like, I found her cute. Of course, like, honestly, before I was an oblivious one. So, nice to meet. But yeah, tonight was great, and let's see. We talked about a whole lot more. I foreshadowed a lot already, and what, we're only 20 minutes minutes in. I don't know if I'll go the full hour, but something's done. Curious, bell ringing. First. Yeah, another thing, we had been talking about that Durango job, and I had talked about how, I'd be cool with cutting my hair, but only around new people, which is why I was so excited about the job. Like, being in the middle of nowhere, Theodora and John, summon this back down. Who the hell is this woman? Yeah, I don't know, I feel a lot more comfortable around people I don't know when I change my appearance like that, because, first impressions are really everything, and the first impression I made with them was with my mom. Oh, another bell-ringing woman. This chalice is fucked up. Where the fuck is she? Bro, I must be living in Jesus. Someone save me. Only the first two. But, yeah, I had talked about the Durango job, and I've already kind of gone over that quite a bit with this video journal, so I'll just kind of like ease over that. But, it was sort of the first time that Taylor was hearing of it, even though I'm pretty sure that I had told her about it. But, who knows? I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm told things all the time, and I also forget. But I'm not saying that to justify me feeling weird about it, that she forgot. Like, I don't really give a fuck. And that's that sort of gung-ho stance that I'm talking about, that I've sort of kind of been running with lately. Like, because I've been saying, I've been talking to a lot of my friends, like Andrea, the girl that turns monster. or not even girl. Her gender identity is more neutral, but she's pretty feminine. So sometimes I can't help but calling her a girl, but she doesn't mind that. I don't think she minds that. But I try to stay true to it. But we were talking about like this Maria drama. Like there's this girl that I know. It was I talked about it in one of my previous video journals sort of recently about how it was that girl I had known for 8+ years, and she dropped me for some guy she just met. Well, long story short, I'll probably talk about it some other time, but they broke up that same day, and then she tried coming back to me and apologizing, and I accepted the apology, but I'll never trust her ever again, and I told her that. We never really talked about things. Anyways, I was telling Andrea the whole story, and the story I'll tell you guys some other time, just because but I did tell the video journal already that the reason why, one of the big reasons why Maria had sort of dropped me was because of my views. And how I would kind of date any sort of girl I'm close to, when she was that girl, I was very close to her. I honestly would say that I trust her with my life. But not anymore, obviously. These guys But, I told her that whole thing, but I had said something to Andrea that I sort of regret. Now, it wasn't a lie. It's something I definitely stand by. I was telling her that I would date anyone that I was close to. Like, any girl that I was close to. Anyone that was feminine, anyone, that I sort of trust. And I told Andrea that, yeah, honestly, I feel close enough to you where, if you wanted to go on a date, I wouldn't object. That would just be fun. Because then I make sure to know that dating is not dating is not an admission of romance or anything. And that I would just do it simply because I trust Andrea. And, she took it well, but, I was afraid that she was gonna be weirded out by that. Maybe she was. But honestly, I've adopted this new attitude of not caring, And I told John the same thing while we were walking back from Taylor. I told John, yeah, I was even telling Taylor, I was telling him, recently, and this is also what I want to tell you guys, recently, I find myself saying things that not even a full day later, I kind of regret saying, because I change so often, and it's not I do a complete 180 on it. It's maybe I didn't say it quite how I wanted to convey it. Maybe I didn't completely convey it. And, and then I had told John, I know he is gay. So maybe it was bad of me to do this, but I told John hey, if you were a girl, and we're already pretty close to each other, dude, I'd probably go out with you, because not only is it unserious to me, but I feel like I can trust you enough to just kind of do that, but of course dating, I told him yeah, I know a lot of people view dating in that sort of way, so of course I wouldn't just offer it. I would never. But I told him I am wary of who I tell this information because I don't want people getting the wrong idea. I won't tell anyone we'll go to the But yeah, I feel kind of bad for telling him. Then, as I was going back to by myself, to pick up the party. By the way, that is a rune. Oh wow, I found like 7% version of that. That's crazy. But you know, as I was walking back up to my dorm, in the building now, parted ways with John, I was already sort of regretting telling him that, because, like, what if he doesn't feel close enough to me to be told that? Or what if he thinks he might be getting led on, because he is gay, and so, like, what if he thinks me saying that to him is, like, something, and I don't want to lead him on. Which is why I told him, like, hey, I don't mean anything by this, so, a bit worried about that. But then I started thinking to myself, well, and this is the whole point, this is what I've kind of realized, is like, do I really need to care? Like, yeah, it could have been misleading, or he could have taken it well, or maybe he, maybe he really enjoyed that conversation, matter of fact. Maybe I don't need to care at all. Maybe, like, me worrying about all of these things, like, whether or not Theodora, like, is awkward around me, or whether or not, Rise didn't actually want to hang out with me, or whether, all these little, like, self-deprecating little thoughts that you can have, like, and, I probably still will have, but hey, I think I need to start remembering to just not live. I need to stop caring about so many things. Like, that Naya girl who has the 35-year-old boyfriend from Puerto Rico. I don't know if I've talked about that at all, but, she's that same girl I'm gonna be moving with. I'm gonna be rooming with her, but, fuck. I'm so tired still. Man, there was something. Yeah, I mean, that was sort of like. You can say so many things. Like, you can be talking to your friends, and then you regret something that you said later because your views ever so slightly changed, and maybe it was misleading the way you said it, or maybe you conveyed a message that you weren't thinking of at the time, but maybe you conveyed it, don't want them to think. Wrong impression. So, stop caring about it. Like, it'll be fine. Like, if it is a misunderstanding, it's up to them how they sort of want to go about that. Like, if they decide they don't want to be close to you anymore because of that, like, honestly, like, that friendship wasn't going to stay close anyways if things continued, right? Like, if Andrea really wants to back away from me because of that, or, it says something about maybe her relationship or how she feels around that stuff. If I was eventually going to be honest with her about it, it's better that, she hear this now, I guess. John should hear it now, too. I don't feel really close enough to Teodora to, I guess, kind of rant about that, but, like, whatever, right? Whatever. Honestly, like, I feel like Teodora and I need to have a talk at some point. Like, maybe about what she said to me that one night. But honestly, like, I've kind of stopped caring if she does want to or not. Like, if she is truly embarrassed, like, I don't want to have that talk with her. I don't want her to sort of feel like that. Maybe she wants to put it behind her. Forget about it. Like, whatever. I am the type of person to want to sort out my thoughts and talk about video games. Even though I think, more people should sort of think like this. I feel like it would really benefit a lot of people. But yeah, let's see. I wonder what else there is like that happened like that. I mean, of course it was fun. I talked about, I've been watching the Avatar recently, The Last Airbender. I finished book 1 the other day, and I watched episode 1 of book 2 just today. Really good. I'm loving this show. I'm loving it. It's a really good show. I think Zuko is my favorite character. Because, like, he's so angry and he wants to regain his honor so bad. But at the same time, he loves his uncle. Even choosing to save his uncle over pursuing the Avatar at one point in the show, which I found that was amazing. Or being a blue spirit, of course, I'm sure it was like so he could get his honor back someday. That's why he saved Aang in that moment. But man, such a cool character. I really freaking love him. I'm excited because in this episode 1 of the second book, his sister tried to tell him, "Oh, you're welcome back," but they flubbed it, and he ended up escaping. Uncle Iroh kind of clutching up, honestly, in that fight against all those soldiers. That was Iroh is really cool too. He's like, man, he's elite, but like, he's low-key got him too. Like, he seems like there's more to him, and obviously there is. Like, he's damn near the most popular character in the show, and I've seen, like, okay, here's what it is. I'm pretty much spoiler-free going into the show, but I have seen, like, an Uncle Iroh go into it. I know this is wise if I hadn't gathered that out. But the only other thing I've seen like a Toph joke. There's a girl named Toph that I'm gonna meet soon, I think, and like she's blind, and I've seen like a blind joke or two on like social media, like involving that character. But you know, other than that, yeah, very blind. Aang is also a really cool character. Ooh. Why are y'all grabbing your heads? Never seen this. Oh, look, there's other bodies trying to do the same thing. Look at that, like, look at that grayed out one. Like, obviously dead. Man. Well, I wonder if it's the roots of these places. Man, I haven't brushed up on my Bloodborne lore for quite some time. I've been kind of getting back into this game, you know. I've already platinumed it and everything. I'm just kind of fucking around. This is my main account, so it's like, yeah, there's the stats. Like, you know, it's pretty over-leveled, I guess, if you're a PvP person. But, man, Bloodborne PvP was so good. I loved Bloodborne PvP. It was really good. I can't remember if I entered a bonus section or if I'm finding a level. Let's see. I know it's basic and popular, but I love the Lunar Holy Blade. It is like, it feels like another level. Yeah, at first I was gonna stay at like level 180 on my account or something and like keep it there. But you know, I realize I really enjoy the PvE of this game, and I'm just gonna over level anyways. You know, just play with everything. Like, just kind of like, you know, push this game as far as it is. Let's see, did I already hit a lever or some shit? Nope. Yeah, there's some more stuff I kind of want to talk about. But I don't know, though. I thought I had more. I thought I had a little more in me. I thought I'd be able to, like, get through this chalice. You know, just kind of mess around. I gotta kill that guy. Man, what to talk about? I mean, let's see. There are some like minor things, like there's this girl in my my Psych 240 class. I think I may have mentioned this. She's like this slightly chubby, like African girl. but she's like really and I remember telling myself like, oh, like she's kind of cute, like, you know, I don't really care. She's actually pretty fun to talk to. She's really funny. As I've been talking to her, like, she would be a girl, like, I would actually, like, be excited to go on a date on, just how fun she is to talk to. Not just one born out of trust, but, like, you know, I'd kind of want to see where things would go, you know. So, you know, it can vary, like, you know, I'm not just gonna go out with someone, like, just because, like, oh, I trust them, you know, like, it can be more than that, you know, like, it can be out of trust, it can be out of, like, you know, well, you're pretty funny. Like, honestly, like, go with it. And, you know, this all ties back into that, like, I am mentality. Like, you know, oh shit. But, I really do need to stop caring about so many things. Like, I feel like I have a pretty destructive personality when it comes to, like, myself or whatever. That was actually this game could be so shit sometimes. I should have, like, a better crowd control weapon, low-key. Like, I've played around with the Beast Cutter, and I love it. It's a fun weapon. And, like, it's a strength weapon, like, how can I, but, I'm really getting my ass whipped by this chalice. This third one. But, what was I even saying? What was I saying? I feel like the Beast Cutter in that situation would have been very good. Because I'm like, oh, how do I approach this? Like, there's so many potential hitboxes that get thrown out, just blunder me to hell with that. You're down here. I remember I was saying, I really do love the Lunar Tornado. In most situations, like, you can just kind of handle yourself. Of course, like, anti-ganking is an issue with a lot of weapons, of course. You know, I love how versatile it can be, like, with the straight sword and the sheathed weapon. And whatnot. Where's the weapon? Okay, I really need to start finding this frickin' lever. I've got like 10 minutes left in the journal. I never thought I'd even be going this long either. There's another one. Unless that one just glitched for some reason. But not even shit. Where to go? Over there? I love how it staggers big enemies. I really like that. I love how the long sword can like dispatch like small enemies relatively quickly. Especially when you have a lot of stamina, just swing and swing. Even though it is a pretty stamina-hungry weapon. What else? Like, maybe... What else? Ooh. This is an interesting short. Oh, okay. Hello? What the fuck is happening? I'm the text my roommate. Cause like I don't know what's happening. Maybe he messaged me, maybe that was like whispering. Beginning. God, I have to scroll until I find it. Oh, probably. I just asked him, like, are you hearing all this? What the fuck is happening? I know it's late and stuff, is that you knocking? Whatever. I probably won't finish this layer 3 by the time this journal needs to end. Because I've got like 6.5 minutes. I'm kind of glad my door's locked. Otherwise... check out all these bloodshed. I kind of wanted to get some. Even like, you know, this weapon can be considered like, even then it's already so much more complicated than like, you know, Dark Souls combat or whatever. Through like, you know, medium sized to large ones. Like you saw me stunlocking the Snatcher earlier, you know, the dude in the black robes and the, you know, I can stunlock those guys to hell back, but you know, I guess hollowed out motherfucker with a pickaxe. Perfectly consistent. It's just like my matchup knowledge of this is increasing. Well, you know, careful on these videos. And they're like in an animation. I'm glad this is an oil swing. There's some sunlight coming in. That's cool. I thought that was only like the Lauren shadows. Video journal in 2.5 minutes. Yeah, this one, you know, kind of yanked. That's what happens. It's time. Wasting time. Where is the goddamn ladder? I'll probably finish out this chalice. Definitely early pick up on this one. You saw the glyph though at the beginning, so I'm gonna go check this one out. I think you should. Odd and obscure things. So like this. Somewhere. Well, I mean, yeah, that's the video journal. Pretty chill. Some scary shit was going on in my background. I want to see if they responded. It's more than likely to see, but he also kind of stays up sometimes, so it's me trying to tell you to go to bed. I've been trying to sleep. Oh, shit. Dude, I thought I was gonna die or something. I thought I was low-key being quiet. I was... For a journal. I'm just kind of whispering to myself for a journal. Journal that I keep. Okay, yeah, that's the video journal. So I guess it was just my roommate telling me to shut the fuck up. I thought I was I thought I was being quiet. Well, now that I take an earmuff mod, maybe not. I don't know.